customary rules nowadays that have to be followed. As the referees for today, as I mentioned before, Akash Telgu, Mariano Rubello, Yuvraj Tari, and fourth official Yashwant Gaukar. The referee has to keep his calm in such games where tempers normally are on the rise. They tend to flare up in situations, but both teams will still try to get 3 points from this match. It's a rivalry which seconds none in Goan football. And there we see Samir Subhash Naik and Camilo Gonzalez on the bench for DEMPO Sports Club, and we're hoping his boys can log in 3 points today. Rizwan Fernandez will look to continue the good work in getting a draw in the last match against Panjim footballers VASCO Sports Club, having gone down to Panjim 1-0 down in the first half, came back to draw 1-1. And there we see Mickey Fernandez. He will be hoping that his boys put up a show today, coming off a loss and a draw which has derailed their title aspirations somewhat. But this is a chance for redemption for both teams, who would have liked to be more consistent to launch a title challenge for Selgaukar and Sporting Club de Goa. Final seconds. The countdown has already begun before the referee blows his whistle. Akash Telgu, the referee for today, the experienced customer. Akash Telgu handling a big match today. He has to keep his nerves, and so will the players, because like I mentioned before, there are some intense situations where they tend to lose their cool. Uttam Rai is the man who's going to start proceedings for DEMPO Sports Club, and there is the referee's whistle. Uttam Rai plays it back to Shalom Perez, who straight away hooks it up looking for Richard Cardoz. And Daniel Ribello picks up the ball in midfield. He'll have a very crucial role to play in that Vasco midfield today, along with Anil Gaukar on the left hand side. An early foul committed by Anil Gaukar on Richard Cardoz. Mickey Fernandez choosing to go with a 5-4-1 formation, looking to play on the counter attack today. Mickey Fernandez, he must have done his homework against a very experienced DEMPO Sports Club side, who are coming off a win against Youth Club of Manora quite comfortably, taking Youth Club of Manora apart 1-3-0. Bevan DeMello coming off the bench to score the third goal, and Edwin Vegas scoring off 2 set pieces. Mickey Fernandez must have done his homework well. This is Francis Fernandez, 2-1 goal. This is a chance early on, and he's missed it. He's missed that chance. What a glorious opportunity that is. Through on goal thanks to that mistake from Daryl Mascarenas. And the winner of the ISL with Chennai FC, the experienced customer Francis Fernandez, has blown the chance over Melroy Fernandez's goal. What a chance. He's smiling now, for sure, but I'm sure he was shell-shocked to see that ball go over the bar. What a chance that was for VASCO Sports Club to take the lead. Everyone in that crowd are shell-shocked, and so is the bench of VASCO Sports Club. They would expect a man of Francisco Fernandez's quality to slot that past Melroy Fernandez, but it hasn't happened. The scoreline remains goalless. We'll see this chance again. The pressure from Francis Fernandez, all due credit to him, and he gets the ball. He really should have scored that. Will Francis Fernandez come back to rue that miss? Will VASCO rue that miss from Francisco Fernandez? Only time will tell, as the ball comes forward with Edwin Vegas, and Uttam Rai concedes the foul. He's got a pretty different style of walking, Uttam Rai. A very casual way in which he walks. I've rarely seen someone walk like that, but what a player Uttam Rai is for DEMPO Sports Club. As Daryl Mascarenhas' head has been put out for a VASCO throw-in. This is Francis Fernandez chasing the ball down again. I beg your pardon, that's Matthew Colasso who's come into the squad today. This is Shalom Perez to Albert. This is Shalom again. Edwin to Daryl Mascarenhas. What a huge sigh of relief for that man, Daryl Mascarenhas. He completely messed that clearance up. He's been one of the players to watch out for in that right back, left back position. Quite versatile in the way he plays, Daryl Mascarenhas, but on that occasion, in that situation, he really let his team down. But thankfully for him, Francis Fernandez not really grabbing the opportunity with both hands. But quite clearly, VASCO Sports Club have set their team up today to play counter-attacking football, playing with a 5-4-1 formation with Matthew Colasso the only forward up front for VASCO Sports Club, with Anil Gaukar operating on the left wing today. And I see Mickey Fernandez walking up and down the technical area. Everyone back in their own half for VASCO. Alson, the big centre back, retains his position in the centre of the defence for VASCO Sports Club, as the referee has headed over for some reason, as Melroy Fernandez gets some attention from the medical team and has a word with Camilo Gonzalez. I wonder if he's okay, Melroy Fernandez. There's the young Pedroy slotting in the right back position today, and the header comes in from Anil Gaukar. Richard Cardozo's header cleared again by Neville. Cleared up by Shalom Perez. Uttam Rai chests it and gives the foul away yet again. Danston Fernandez will have his task cut out today, because he doesn't have his midfield partner Kirtikesh today to complement him in the midfield region, but he has some able players around him with Desmond and Ariston along with him, but that combination of Danston Fernandez and Kirtikesh Gadekar, really a midfield pairing to be envious of. And this man Edwin Vigas, who passes on the ball to Albert Gonzalez, scoring those two headers in the last game against Youth Club of Manora to give DEMPO a 2-goal lead at half-time. Edwin actually could have got a hat-trick in the last game. He had a clear header in the second half which he missed by a whisker, but nevertheless scoring a brace against Manora. He's in some scoring form. He's definitely a threat on the set pieces, and VASCO Sports Club will have to keep him in check as DEMPO slowly try to keep possession, build from the back, use the wing with Daryl Mascarenas moving forward. VASCO trying to press DEMPO and give them least amount of space to play with, as Uttam Rai keeps the ball. This is Pedro Gonzalez twisting and turning, plays it to Desmond Pereira, and then Kuldeep Kumar is the one who clears it. Pedro does well, jumps over Desmond, and the clearance comes in. This is Francis Fernandez. Matthew Colasso cannot keep that in control. This is Albert Gonzalez, back to Shalom Perez. Danston Fernandez. Danston moving forward. Uttam Rai. Uttam does well, plays it to Ariston. Daryl Mascarenas to Uttam Rai. There's a player on the ground for VASCO Sports Club. Uttam Rai's ball comes in. This is Desmond Pereira, puts the ball back in. Still a player down on the ground for VASCO as DEMPO did not stop the game, and it is Neville Alexander, the captain, who's on the ground. I wonder what exactly happened there. As the physio of VASCO Sports Club comes forward to help Neville out. There you see that strapped up quadriceps of Neville Alexander. He's coming back off an injury. Neville is making the team. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out of this injury, if he's going to be back on the field. It's not always the greatest sign to see your captain moving out, especially just coming back after an injury. Francis Fernandez allows play to go on. This is Desmond Gama who wins the foul against Albert Gonzalez. It'll be an interesting battle in the heart of that midfield with Ariston and Danston, two very talented youngsters in the midfield for DEMPO today against the very, very experienced Francis Fernandez and Denil Rebello. As the ball comes in from Olsen. Not quite keeping it in the end. Matlish Pereira. As the ball is played by Melroy, this is Desmond Pereira, keeps it in, does well, plays it back to Danston. Danston does so well to get past Francis Fernandez, and then is brought down by Desmond Gama. Just when we spoke about that battle between young blood and the experienced Francis Fernandez, Danston showing some beautiful close control. Headed out by Kuldeep. This is Daryl Mascarenas. Pedro Gonzalez. Ariston. Shalom Perez. Looking for Albert Gonzalez, who will not keep it in. Pedro will take this throw in. Pedro making his debut today for Vasco Sports Club in this year's Silver Goa Professional League, as he takes a throw in and is headed out by Shalom Perez. This is Pedro. Matthew Colasso. Still Matthew plays it back to Pedro somehow. Still another throw in for Vasco. Francis cannot get it under control. This is Olsen. Francis Fernandez. Desmond Gama's cross comes in, and not a bad one at all, but Daryl Mascarenas gets on the end of it this time. Flicks it on, and this is Richard Cardos who's put this up, but not really finding it Tamrai. This is Ariston cleaning up in midfield for DEMPO Sports Club. This is Albert Gonzalez. Back to Shalom Perez. Perez plays it square to his centre-back partner Edwin Vegas, who plays it forward to the overlapping Daryl Mascarenas. Richard Cardos not finding it Tamrai with that, and Anil Gaukar giving the ball away. Daryl's cross in was a little awkward for Rizwan Fernandez, but it does go out for a goal kick. Both these teams losing to Kalangut Association. Quite a surprise, back-to-back wins for Kalangut Association against DEMPO and Vasco. That really completely changed the proceedings in the Silver Goa Professional League. And DEMPO's next match is a very, very important one that could either make or break someone's title aspirations, as they will be facing Sporting Club de Goa, and what a match that promises to be. Big rival match. DEMPO Sports Club versus Sporting Club de Goa. So DEMPO playing two big fixtures back to back in the league, playing Vasco and Sporting Club de Goa back to back, but Sporting Club de Goa also playing two big games back to back. They face FC Goa in what could be another major fixture which could decide the title challenge, whether the title will be a 2-horse race or a 3-horse race, or will it be Salgaonkar running away with the Silver Goa Professional League. So far the ball has dwindled around in the midfield between these two teams. DEMPO Sports Club and Vasco not really finding or giving space to each other, but here's a chance. Pedro Gonzalez! Just as I said about the ball dwindling around the midfield region, DEMPO come out with a beautifully played move, and on the counter attack, this is Anil Gaukar on the left wing for Vasco Sports Club. Anil up against Daryl Mascarenas, twisting and turning, with Daryl getting the better of Anil Gaonkar, winning the throw-in, but that was a big chance for Pedro Gonçalves. And Francis Fernandez almost wins that ball yet again from Ariston Fernandez. Both teams really trying to get mistakes out of the other. We'll go back to that Pedro Gonçalves chance, but here's Dempo coming at Vasco yet again. This is Albert Gonçalves. Desmond Pereira. Tenston plays it back to Perez. Perez to Uttam Rai. This is Daryl Mascarenhas. Daryl's ball in, and not a bad one. This is another chance. Pedro in the box and takes another shot. Akash Telugu has pointed for a goal kick, and the protests coming from the Dempo players as they think this is a corner kick. Not quite clear from that angle, but Pedro Gonçalves having two chances in 2 minutes, and the game is opening up slowly. This is Desmond Pereira. We'll try and go back to that chance from Pedro Gonçalves in that one-on-one situation where Rizwan Fernandez came up with a brilliant save. This is that chance, beautifully taken by Pedro to go past Kuldeep. Not the best of finishes, but Rizwan Fernandez does well to keep that out from Pedro, but either side of Rizwan Fernandez, and that is the opening goal of this match, and Dempo would have taken the lead. So both teams having one clear opportunity each to open the scoring, neither taking them, and it's still goalless between Dempo and Vasco as Desmond Pereira puts it up yet again. Uttam Rai, this is a chance again for Richard Cardoz, but the referee's whistle has gone up for offside as Uttam Rai is flagged offside in this situation from Desmond Pereira, as Richard Cardoz's shot was blocked by Anil Gaonkar. But Dempo slowly but surely applying the pressure on Mickey Fernandez's boys. Rizwan's goal kick headed on by Matthew Colasso, and Francis Fernandez yet again pressing, not letting the Dempo defenders quite rest in peace, not giving them time on the ball to maneuver their moves. And this is Shalom Perez. Perez spreads it wide to Daryl. It's Richard Cardoz. Ariston. Danston. Daryl Mascarenhas. Richard Cardoz. Clear on by Olsen. Headed on by Ariston. Uttam Rai goes up. It's still Uttam Rai, but Anil Gaonkar just stepping in to avert the danger. It's headed on by Edwin. Francis to Denner Rebello, and it will be a throw in Dempo's way. Vasco Sports Club in 5th position in this year's league as Neville Alexander goes to the ground once again, and it is the same area where he is injured, and requires more treatment, the captain Neville Alexander. A very crucial player for Mickey Fernandez and Neville Alexander, and he will be hoping that the situation of his injury gets better. They haven't got many defensive options on the bench today, but they have got the likes of Joaquim Fernandez, who could add on to that attack for Vasco Sports Club. His experience would definitely count. A former DEMPO player, Joaquim Branches, has plied his trade for DEMPO for many years, playing against his former team today. This is Daryl Mascarenhas. Shalom Perez putting the ball forward, but cleared on by McLeish. This is Matthew Colasso. Anil Gawkar plays it forward, looking for Francis Fernandez, not quite getting there. Ariston. This is Pedro Gonzalez's ball. Desmond Pereira cuts it back in, and Rizwan Fernandez does brilliantly to anticipate that ball and get it under his control. Pedro Gonzalez yet again. Beautiful football from Pedro. Good football all round. Rizwan Fernandez showing that he is equally capable of keeping well under the post in a time where Sanju Thapa is injured. As another of Desmond Pereira's cross is collected by Rizwan Fernandez, who hooks it up. This is Albo. Shalom Perez. This is again Pedro Gonzalez with some space ahead of him. This is Uttam Rai. Uttam Rai's ball. This is a chance. Richard Cardos is through on goal, and he's missed it yet again. Richard Cardos has just skimmed the side netting where he really should have hit the target. DEMPO have had the chances to put this game beyond Vasco's reach in the opening 25 minutes, and there is the substitution happening. Neville Alexander going off, giving the captain's armband and handing it over to the experienced Joaquim Branches. Just as I mentioned about Joaquim, and Mickey Fernandez seems to have been listening to me, he does get on the experienced Joaquim Branches, and that should be quite a task for DEMPO now to cater to the experience of Joaquim Branches, who's been a former DEMPO player for many years, and he will be looking to guide his team to victory today. But first he needs to calm them down and get the defense organized, and the presence of Joaquim will allow Mickey to shift the formation from 5-4-1 to the traditional 4-4-2. It will allow him to put more pressure on the defenders as Francis Fernandez goes shoulder to shoulder with Albert Gonzalez, and Pedroy sliding in to give the throw in to DEMPO. This is Tyrell Mascarenhas' ball, looking for Richard Cardos, not quite reaching the preferred destination. Edwin clears it. Ariston gives it away. This is Olsen. Olsen chipping it from Matthew Colasso. This is Francis Fernandez. This is McLeish. McLeish's left-footed cross in, and it has gone out for a corner kick. Melroy Fernandez just failing to keep that in the field of play. But like we said, Mickey Fernandez doesn't have options on his bench with the defenders, and Neville Alexander's going off injured means that Joachim Branches had to come in. As the ball from Daniel Ribello was flicked on for a goal kick by Olsen Fernandez. This is Shalom Perez. This is still Perez. Perez puts it forward, but no one chasing the ball down. That's a poor ball from Perez. No real ambition behind that ball. Rizwan puts it up. Perez chests it down, this time for Ariston. This is Pedro. He's had quite a game so far, Pedro Gonzalez, just not putting the ball past Rizwan Fernandez. He's had the opportunities, but not really taking them. This is Pedro. Francis Fernandez. Dunstan will not be able to keep that in, but we've seen today that he is missing his defensive partner, I beg your pardon, midfield partner in Kirtikesh Gadekar. We've not seen the same influence he has on a game, Dunstan Fernandez, but this will hold him in good stead. It's a good experience for the under 20 youngster Dunstan Fernandez, as Kuldeep Kumar clears the ball, hooks it forward, and Edwin Vegas heads it back to Melroy Fernandez. Melroy puts it out for Albert, who flicks it on. This is Desmond Pereira. Pedro with some space ahead of him plays a beautiful ball through to Desmond. The left-footed cross comes in, and this should head out for a throw-in from Kuldeep Kumar, as the referee probably will usher the players back into the dugout for the first cooling break, as both teams have had clear chances to open the scoring. Vasco having the one-on-one opportunity with Francis Fernandez in the very first minute of the game. Daryl Mascarenas failing to clear the ball, and Francis Fernandez through on goal, shot it way over the goal. But Dempo came back strongly after that, created 3 open chances, rather I would say 2 open chances and 1 half chance, one of those falling to Pedro Gonzalez and the other open chance falling to Richard Cardoz, who really should have done better in that situation. We've seen him score a few stunners, but on that occasion he completely miscued his shot, hitting the side netting, and Rizwan Fernandez was a relieved man that his goal was not intruded. This is Desmond Pereira. Daryl Mascarenas. Richard Cardoz. Low cross into the box, but into the hands of Rizwan Fernandez. This is Rizvin's ball forward, headed on by Edwin Vegas to Melroy Fernandez. We've had a clean game so far, except the only stoppages coming really from Neville Alexander's injuries. We've had a clear, very sporty game with not many ugly incidents happening, as you would often see between two big teams. This is Edwin Vegas, shouldered by Joaquim Fernandez, but Edwin clears the ball, puts it out for a throw-in. Anil comes forward and he will be launching this into the box. From what I get, Anil Kauker's thrown into the box, not the rocket and that we expect him to launch, but this is Pedro Gonzalez on the counter-attack, plays in Desmond Pereira up against Pedroy. This is Desmond. Pedroy forces him back. This is Albo now for DEMPO Sports Club. This is Desmond again. Desmond plays it square to Daryl Mascarenhas. Daryl to Desmond. Uttam Rai is tackled from the back, but he keeps the ball in control. Daryl Mascarenhas does well to keep the ball. Danston not quite playing that 1-2. This is Daniel Rubello and he is fouled by Daryl Mascarenhas. And he gets the first yellow card of this game. Daryl Mascarenhas. DEMPO not happy with that earlier foul on Richard Cardoz, which they think they should have got a foul, but the referee, having played advantage, not really getting it, as Daryl Mascarenhas gets a yellow card for the foul on Daniel Rubello. This is Olsen taking the free kick. Olsen's ball in, looking for Kuldeep Kumar, not quite getting there. Kuldeep Kumar has been the constant at the heart of defence for VASCO Sports Club. He's had a decent campaign. Kuldeep Kumar started out brilliantly. As the ball has been cleared on by Olsen, straight into the hands of his own goalkeeper Rizvin. This is Pedro again, chipping it forward for Richard Cardoz, but Pedro does well. But getting back to Vasco, I would definitely like to mention Anil Gaukar, because you see him playing in that left wing back position today. How versatile he is as a player. As this corner comes in, we'll get back to Anil as the corner comes in, and the header from Uttam Rai is brilliantly saved by Rizvin Fernandez. Uttam Rai couldn't believe that Rizvin got down to save that header from Uttam, as this attack continues with Albert Gonzalez moving forward, plays it back to Richard. This is Richard Cardoz up against Desmond Gama, who does well. This is Edwin Vegas, chips it forward. Anil Gaukar again there, rising above Uttam Rai to win the header. Desmond plays it back to Danston. This is Shalom Perez. Shalom's ball in. No one getting on the end of it, but we may go back to that corner of Uttam's header. Richard Cardoz putting it forward, and very, very good header from Uttam Rai, and another brilliant save from Rizwan Fernandez. He's got his elbow in the process, but what a save that was from Rizwan Fernandez. As we see Uttam Rai and Kuldeep Kumar having a conversation and sharing a smile with each other. It's good to see. The rivalry is on the field, and good to see some friendship while they take a break. It's been a busy afternoon for her, with Neville Alexander being injured and now Rizwan Fernandez just needing some attention. As Rizwan's ball comes in and it's flicked on, but Dempo win the foul. This is Richard Cardo's. Perez. Perez puts it up. Uttam Rai again jumping above McLeish Pereira to win that header, but that put in trouble Rizwan Fernandez, the form he's been on today. As Dempo slowly but surely has taken control of this game, with not many opportunities creeping up for Vasco Sports Club. Aston tries to go on a mazy run, but has been cleared on by Vasco Sports Club. This is Tanston. Albert Gonzalez. This is Richard. Tanston. Tyrell Mascarenas. That's a beautifully played ball through Desmond Pereira. Pedroy trying to clear that, almost put it on the path of Richard Cardo's in almost a comedy of errors, as this beautifully threaded ball through, and then another excellently played ball. What a mistake that ran there. You see Rizwan Fernandez and Kuldeep Kumar charging at the young Pedroy. The youngster didn't know how to react to that, and then having realized that the goal wasn't scored by Richard Cardo's, Kuldeep and Rizwan just heading over to the youngster to tell him it's okay, don't make that mistake again, because once a mistake, twice a crime is what they say. What a chance that was yet again, almost costing Vasco a goal with Pedroy. Winning the foul there, Francis Fernandez. This is Daniel Rebello, who's gonna take this free kick for Vasco. Daniel's floater into the box, punched out by Melroy Fernandez. This is Pedro. Ariston puts it forward. Richard Cardo's is forward, and Desmond Gama racing back, and Richard Cardo's with a disappointing effort in the end. Oh, what a counter attack that could have been for DEMPO Sports Club. This is Joachim Branches slowing things down for Vasco. He gets it back, getting the control, and this is Francis Fernandez and Matthew Colasso just stamping on Edwin Vegas. Not intentional though from the men. We'll see what happened there. There you see, not an intentional one. He had full right to go for that ball, but gives the foul away. This is Albert Gonzalez. Shalom Perez. Perez puts it forward, flicked on by Pedro Gonzalez, beautifully brought down by Uttam Rai. Richard Cardoz going forward and takes the shot. We've seen him score a stunner from there against FC Goa. If you remember that goal well, that could very well be one of the goals of the tournament. This time just missing the target. Richard Cardoz from a similar kind of range. This is Rizwan Fernandez. Joachim going up for the header. Pedro Gonzalez, he's been involved in every single tempo attack today, bossing that attacking midfielder's role. Pedro Gonzalez today. Albert going up against Desmond Gama, and Desmond doing very well to win that foul from Albert Gonzalez. And we'll see this again. Desmond Gama uses his body brilliantly. This is Kuldeep Kumar. He's gonna hook it up long. Kuldeep Kumar, flicked on by Francis and then put forward with Matthew Colasso chasing it. Will he keep it in? He does keep it in, and now he has a chance to cross it in. He does, and that's not a bad cross. This is Joachim. Joachim's ball in, not quite finding Francis Fernandez, but this is Anil looking for Joachim again, but Daryl Mascarenas will cross that out for a throw-in for Vasco. This is Joachim Branches leaving it for Anil. I've really been impressed with the likes of Anil Gaukar. Not on that occasion, but he genuinely has worked so hard for Vasco. He's been everywhere on the field, giving his heart and soul for the men in white. His hard work has shown on the pitch. He's featured almost in every single match for Vasco Sports Club. He scored a hat-trick, almost a hat-trick, but he's right up there in the goal scoring charts with 5 goals in the league so far. As 4 minutes of additional time have been shown by the assistant referee, as a free kick has been awarded Vasco's way. What a time to score it will be for Vasco if they do from the set piece. Everyone falling back for tempo. They know the importance of going into half-time, not conceding one, as this is a chance. This is Olsen, and he's missed a clear opportunity. What a chance that was for Olsen Fernandez. The free kick from Daniel Ribello, falling very kindly to Olsen, and all he had to do was keep it on target to trouble Melroy. Not finding the target at all. This is Uttam Rai. Close control. Daryl Mascarenas danced in does ever so well. And Richard plays it back to Ariston. This is Shalom Perez. Albert Gonzalez plays it back to Perez yet again. Perez hooks it forward. This is Daryl Mascarenhas. Danston going on a run up against two youngsters, up against each other. Anil Gaukar and Danston Fernandez. Anil Gaukar getting the better of it, winning the foul. Just getting there ahead of Danston there, Anil Gaukar. This is Kuldeep Kumar. All smiles today so far, as the ball has been played forward, flicked on by Joachim of Branches, and Matthew Colasso will be chasing it, but nothing doing as Melroy comes forward and collects it. This is Ariston. Plays a poor ball looking for Pedro Gonzalez. This is Francis, not quite reaching there. This is Albert, back to Desmond Pereira, who's once again shifted wings with Richard Cardos. This is Perez. Uttam Rai to Pedro Gonzalez. Daniel Rebello trying to strip him off the ball. This is Uttam Rai. Losing out to Francis Fernandez. Danston. Desmond Pereira. Danston again. Does well. Escapes the first challenge but not the second one. This is Daryl Mascarenhas. Ariston. Perez now. Almost coming to the end of this half. And there is the halftime whistle from Akash Telugu as both teams go into halftime stranded and a goalless draw so far. But it's been an entertaining goalless encounter so far, because from the very first minute it's been chances galore, but both teams failing to take it as they head back to the dugout, with Francis Fernandez having the first chance of the match, clear through on goal from Daryl Mascarenhas' mistake, but failing to take it, putting it over Melroy Fernandez' goal. Then Pedro Gonzalez came back for Dempo with a one-on-one chance, creating it for himself but shooting it straight at Rizwan Fernandez, and then Uttam Rai's header was saved by Rizwan again, which has led to a half-time score of DEMPO Sports Club 0, VASCO Sports Club 0. as the referees are walking in with the teams. Two teams who've fought it out in the middle, two fairly new teams in this year's league, Velsau and Youth Club of Manora. The referees for today: Niaz Abu, Sainath Haldankar, Mayank Pandey, and fourth official Praveen Naik. As the referee blows the whistle, Romario Da Costa, we'll get back to that because this is a chance. Ganesh Thakur just not getting there, but great work again from the experienced. This is Ganesh Thakur again. Gets past the first challenge, gets past the second challenge. This is Ganesh Thakur. Still going. Ganesh Thakur holds on to that a little longer. He'll be ruining that missed chance. DEMPO Sports Club on the 12th, which is a very tough match. This is a chance. There's a beautiful effort from Brian Mascarenas, which had been deflected and saved by Luis Barreto. Back to Michael, who's given it away. Cheslai Moniz! But this is a chance. This is Nicholas Fernandez, who scored the first goal of this match for Youth Club of Manora. The second team, which is close to them, are 7 behind them. This is a beautiful ball from Nicholas Fernandez. Eldon Colasso trying to slot it past Presley Mascarenas. Youth Club of Manora as they try to bring this half to an end, and what a save that is from Luis Barreto. The referee has blown the halftime whistle. The halftime score here at the Delay Stadium. It is Youth Club of Manora 1, Velsau Sports and Cultural Club 0. This is Nicholas Fernandez yet again marching forward. This is a chance. This is Eldon Colasso on his left foot. What a save that is. Nicholas Fernandez, he's almost unstoppable today, really, Nicholas Fernandez. As Eldon Colasso does equally well the introduction of Jay, which might come very soon, as Ronald Azevedo has been fouled right on the edge of the box. Shown from him, he has some space on the right hand side, cuts in. This is Eldon Colasso, gets it in his control. Presley Mascarenas, as Viraj Naik was right in front of him, but wins it back and plays it to Aniston Fernandez, who does ever so well yet again. Absolutely fantastic to watch this man in action, Aniston. Peter to Ronald Azevedo, and another foul by Clive Colasso, who's going to go into the books again. Jay Williamson cuts in, takes the shot almost towards the end. This could be the last chance for Velsau, and there is the final whistle. Full time, it is Youth Club of Manora 1, Velsau Sports and Cultural Club 0. As we see the referees leading the teams in a big game today in Kalangut Association's rich history in the Goa Professional League. The referees for today: Biprat Sangelkar, Savio Fernandez, Raja Peer, and fourth official Selrich Almeida. As the referees whistle, looks for the long ball, looks for the run of Shirotkar, and Debnath has come out and will win the free kick as Shirotkar just put a hand out. It could have been dangerous again from Debnath Mondal. Kwame plays it well. It's a beautiful turn from Rohan Kamble. He rattles the post. This is Vishesh against Yagya, and he goes past Yagya, but Yagya Kapoor is writhing in pain on the ground. This is Afdal against Melvin Lobo. This is Afdal. He takes the shot on marching down the left. This is Justin Barbosa in the box, marching forward. Justin with the ball. Frankie Oliveira, the man who's come back into the 11, has opened the scoring. As this is a chance. This is Kwame Jr., who almost creates a chance out of nothing, really. Justin through on goal. What can Justin do? Justin with the shot, and he's missed it completely. Asif loses the ball. This is Siddharth Shirotkar. Glorious opportunity. Shirotkar, what a miss that is. Doesn't get his shot off. Asif Molla losing the ball there to Kundakar. Frankie, what a ball forward that is from Frankie Oliveira. This is Justin. He's got over, and that should be a penalty. Churchill Brothers looking to put the game to bed. Frankie Oliveira. Frankie does it ever so confidently slots it past Paramveer Singh. Playing it down the right to Kundaikar. Kundaikar's shot comes in and finds Daryl Costa. He's given it away, and then a lunging tackle from Nixon Castagna will probably yield a yellow card for Nixon Castagna, and it is a yellow card. And there is the final whistle from the referee at full time. Churchill brothers have overcome the challenge of Collingwood Association 2-0. If they come out with all 3 points against Salgaonkar Football Club, who are yet to concede a goal in this year's league. In the coach's words, as the referee's whistle, putting Mark Carvalho through against Alton Vaz. Mark getting into the box. Is that a foul? Is that a penalty? Poor touch in the end as he's gone through, bulldozes his way through. This is Filippo Dogbo. Marcus Mascarenas has scored! That is the first goal Salgaonkar Football Club. As this ball has come to Stefan, what can he do? Stefan Sheldon, and that should be a penalty, and it is! Beautifully threaded through ball which completely dissected this defense of Sporting Club de Goa, and that quite rightly bulges the net behind Ozan Silva. He goes to take the penalty, he slots it home! It is 1-1 at the Dullar Stadium. Both players going head to head, Marcus Mascarenas and Saurav Patil as Jason DeMello, and there you see that was not quite right from Saurav Patil. Beautiful ball played forward for Marcus Mascarenas. He's lost Flagan Rodriguez. This is Marcus in the box, cuts in. Marcus Mascarenas! He has missed the target. What an opportunity that was. Marcus Mascarenas doing everything correctly. And that will be the first half action that leads us to this halftime score. Sporting Club de Goa 1, Salgaonkar Football Club 1. As the shot comes in from Saish Madan, and that was not really a bad effort. It's still in danger. Filippo Dogbo going forward with some skill. He's still going forward. This is a chance. Filippo Dogbo, what skill to go past Saurav Patil. He puts it forward to Marcus Mascarenas. What a block that is. This is Prathamesh moving on from midfield, looking for Stephen's run. Stephen! Has he got this? Oh my God! That is bounced over the goal. Absolutely perfectly, as Ozan Silva was out of goal, left stranded. You will not believe what you've seen on your screen after additional time, but this game is over. Not before you think, as the shot is taken by Stefan. Sporting Club Hearts with that Ozan Silva scrambling across goal literally. This is a chance for Salgaonkar. A lot of excitement in the box, and that is chested on by Stephen Satakar. The final whistle comes in full time. It is Sporting Club de Goa 1, Salgaonkar Football Club 1. Been in a battle for relegation in a long time. Joachim plays it to Francis Fernandez, a shot which is brilliantly kept out by Preston Rego. Daniel Rebello's corner comes in, and the header has allowed a scrappy football affair going on in that. Joyson does well, goes past one of his markers. This is Lloyd Cardozo, and Joyson in the box. Joyson takes it, and they have scored the first goal of the match. This is Krishna Gavas. He's had an impressive start as this shot comes in. Rizwan Fernandez! Daniel Rebello. This is Joachim Branches who wrestles. The ball comes in from Anil Kaukar, and that is so close from Joachim Branches with the header. This is still dangerous. Denil's ball. This is another chance. What a block that is from Janio Fernandez as Francis Fernandez. Let me tell you that these tangent footballers will be outraged as Kuldeep's ball comes in, and that is off the ball. This is a chance, still in it. What an opportunity for VASCO Sports Club. Threads it forward, this is a chance. Joachim Branches has missed that glorious opportunity, and what a big save that is. As the ball comes in, the flick-ons from Joachim, and that's a foul given by the referee. This is the moment for redemption for Joachim Branches. The captain, he hits the top corner with no chance for Preston Rego. Preston has gone through, he's taken the shot, but straight to Rizwan Fernandez, as they will be pegged right back in the title race with Sporting and Salgaocar clear favourites. But DEMPO can't play spoil sport after this. They're playing their 9th match today, and there we see Samir Naik, always a stylish DEMPO coaching staff with Camilo Gonzalez and Samir Naik. VASCO will start proceedings in this half against DEMPO with Joachim Branches standing over the ball. As the referee's whistle blows to commence the second half, as Olsen puts it forward and it's headed on by Desmond Gama, and it's out for a throw, and this is Albert Gonzalez. DEMPO in second position in the league, but having played 2 matches more than Sporting Club de Goa, who seem to be the only one really having a chance of mounting a title challenge, along with Salgaocar Football Club having drawn just 1 game. Salgaocar Football Club before their encounter against Sporting Club de Goa. They've lost 4 points, 2 to this team, DEMPO Sports Club, which held them to a goalless draw, and Sporting Club de Goa, who also drew against Salgaocar Football Club and the Minnow Sessa Football Academy. That could be a crucial result in the scheme of things for Sporting Club de Goa. That last minute own goal from Myron Fernandez really can be a title changer. That has given Salgaocar a slightly upper hand in the title race, but still a few matches to play, and Sporting will be hoping to get past the line, the defending champions, as this throw-in comes in from Kuldeep Kumar, has been headed out. Then Denil's flick on, this is Anil Gaukar, back to Denil, puts it up for Matthew Colasso. Matthew against Daryl Mascarenas. Matthew's ball in, Desmond heading it, and Perez's clearance does well. Kuldeep with his header straight to Pedro Gonçalves. This is Desmond Pereira. Danston Fernandez. Pedro, the beautiful touch, and Pedro has managed to flick Pedro from the back, or has we don't see much in there. Pedro doesn't protest it, but it looked like Pedro Gonzalez falling more on his own than Pedro flicking him from the back. Only Pedro will know if there was a slight touch in that. As Desmond Gama has stayed on the ground. It was interesting to see what Pedro Gonzalez tried to do there, because he tried to flick it on and move into a position with Pedro chasing him. It did seem like Pedro was nowhere close to him, but he wins the free kick in a position where he has scored twice for DEMPO, and it is a very dangerous position to give away a free kick to DEMPO Sports Club, especially with Pedro Gonzalez on the field. We've seen before that they've scored off these situations not once, not twice. And the free kick comes in again and just misses by a whisker this time. As Pedro Gonzalez nods his head, he comes close yet again, but only by a whisker does it miss Rizvin Fernandez's goal. What an effort again from Pedro Gonzalez. He really has been the player who's been the most dangerous in today's game. There's Pedro Gonzalez again with a beautiful ball. Uttam Rai fails to take it in his stride, and Anil Kaukar, the hard-working lad Anil Kaukar, gets the ball in control, and yet again runs back. Danston plays it forward to Richard Cardoz. Richard plays it to Albert Gonzalez. DEMPO quickly shifting wings, and Richard Cardoz down the middle looking for Uttam Rai's run. Guess who's there? Anil Kaukar yet again. This is Olsen Fernandez. Olsen clears it. A throw in for DEMPO Sports Club. Daryl Mascarenas. Has he given a foul? I don't think there is much in this from Anil Kaukar, who was... I really think that was not a foul from Anil Kaukar. He's hardly done anything wrong there, but Akash Telugu does decide against it. Albert Gonzalez, beg your pardon, Richard Cardoz will be the man taking this free kick. This is Richard Cardoz. Richard Cardoz's free kick, but headed on. This is Perez. Ball comes in yet again, punched out by Rizvin. Some confusion between Kuldeep and Rizvin, and Rizvin finally getting the ball under control, looking for a penalty. Pedro Gonzalez. And there's a DEMPO player who's remained on the ground. As the ball comes in, and Edwin Vegas has been cleaned out by Rizvin Fernandez. attempting to clear that ball. Rizwan catches Edwin Vegas. Uttam Roy now sharing a smile with Akash Telgu and Kuldeep Kumar. Both of them, Kuldeep and Uttam Roy, friends with each other from their Calcutta days. Kuldeep having plied his trade last season for Southern Samiti in Calcutta. Uttam Roy also having played for some of the biggest clubs in Calcutta, including East Bengal. Now plying his trade in Goa for DEMPO Sports Club. This is Danston Fernandez. Puts it forward. This is Pedro yet again. He's at the heart of every single DEMPO Sports Club attack. This is Pedro Gonzalez's cross. Deflected out, I think. Or has it? It's not been deflected. Pedro Gonzalez has put it out for a goal kick for Rizwan Fernandez. Kuldeep with the long goal kick, flicked on by Daniel Rebello. Matthew Colasso trying to out jump Shalom Perez, but the foul has been given. This is Daniel Rebello who's going to take this free kick for Vasco Sports Club. This is Daniel Rebello, takes it on goal, and that was not a bad effort from Daniel Rebello. Melroy Fernandez was scrambling across his goal. You can see this free kick. He went for power and it was not very far away. It had Melroy scrambling. However, no trouble yet for DEMPO. This is Alba. Danston with a neat turn. Perez's ball forward. Perez heads it on. This is Pedro Gonzalez. Beautifully kept the ball, and such composure from Pedro Gonzalez. This is Desmond Pereira's ball in. Just cleared out again by Anil Kaukar. This is Albert. Uttam Roy trying to out jump Anil Kaukar, but again doing a great job Anil Kaukar. What a player he has been. Jersey number 14 for Anil Kaukar. He's trying to explain to the assistant referee on that foul yet again, and he is quite rightly asking for an explanation from the assistant referee on why that was given a foul against him. This is Olsen. Olsen's long ball forward. Edwin heads it to Daryl. Headed on by Anil. This is Edwin Vegas. Daryl Mascarenas. Daryl chips it forward, but well taken by Kuldeep Kumar. Now puts it forward for Joachim Branches. Edwin does well. This is Daryl Mascarenas. Richard Cardoz. Francis Fernandez. Daniel Rebello. Daniel. Joachim checks it, but looking for Francis Fernandez, doesn't quite get it. This is Desmond. Pedroy. Denil to Anil Kaukar. It's a beautiful ball forward from Anil Kaukar. McLeish putting the ball in. This is given away. Joachim's shot has been deflected by Edwin Vigas into the arms of Melroy. Mistake by Perez allowed that shot from Joachim of Branches. No trouble yet for DEMPO Sports Club. No teams really creating a chance in this half yet. DEMPO trying to go on the ascendancy. This is Perez, Edwin Vigas, Daryl Mascarenas. Pedro's ball, not a bad one. Just failing to find Uttam Rai. This is DEMPO back in possession. Danston Fernandez. DEMPO, the 14th time Goa Pro League champions, gunning for a 15th, not quite there probably this season, but they will be looking to try and maintain that challenge, the faint hopes that are left, as Richard Cardoz is being taken off for Suraj Hatkonkar. Suraj, we've seen that many a times this season, coming on as a substitute, changing the game for DEMPO Sports Club, especially with these set piece movements which he's known for, as it is laid down for Edwin Vigas, or rather that was Desmond Pereira, but he shot for the stars there, not for Rizwan Fernandez's goal. This is Kuldeep Kumar. Kuldeep puts it up, headed on by Joachim Fernandez. Joachim of Branches rather. This is Shalom Perez. Perez's ball forward. No real aim in that, and easy for Anil Kaukar to get it under control. Play it forward for Joachim, who gives the ball away yet again. Albert to Ariston. Plays in Suraj Hatkonkar. What can he do, Suraj? He's moving forward with the ball. This is Danston Fernandez. Vasco will be looking not to give away a free kick in a dangerous position, especially with the likes of Pedro and Suraj on the field. We've seen Suraj score some absolute scorchers from free kicks for DEMPO Sports Club over the last few years. Vasco will be doing well not to give away a free kick just outside the box. This is Pedroy. Takes the throw in, but cannot keep it under control. This is Desmond Pereira. Takes the throw in. This is Danston. Matthew Colasso trying to strip Danston off the ball, but not really happening for him. This is Suraj Hatkonkar now, moving up from the midfield position. Danston plays it to Edwin Vigas. Suraj changes wings to Alba. Alba cutting in. This is Suraj again. Long ranger from Suraj. We know he's capable of scoring those screamers, but not on this occasion. Slicing it way wide of Rizwan Fernandez's goal, who's been quite brilliant And we see McLeish Pereira, who's going to be taken off for Savlon Fernandez. A like for like change. Savlon will slot into that left wing position in place of McLeish Pereira, an under 20 player coming on for another under 20 player, as Joachim goes up with Daryl Mascarenas for the header, not quite winning it. This is Joachim Francis. Desmond Gama, who shifted to the left wing in place of Savlon Fernandez, who's shifted into the right. This is Francis to Joachim Branches. This is Daniel Rebello. Savlon, that's his first touch of the game. Savlon will put in a good cross, but not quite finding a fellow white jersey. This is Pedro Gonzalez again with another beautiful ball forward for Desmond Pereira. Boy, has he been on song today, Pedro Gonzalez. This is Uttam Rai cutting in, but also in with a good tackle in. This is Savlon moving forward. A sudden change in pace of the game, and then things again seem to slow down as Savlon Fernandez comes forward, just losing the ball behind him, and Joachim will not reach that. Alba's throwing. This is Pedro Gonzalez. Have we seen a single mispass from Pedro Gonzalez today? And it would have been interesting to see Pedro Gonzalez's heat map today and his pass accuracy and percentage, but I don't have that technology here, as Danston Fernandez brings down Matthew Colasso after Matthew does brilliantly to win the ball from Danston. Mickey Fernandez has been walking up and down that technical area today, not really resting his legs. He's really been constantly barking instructions at his players. He knows how important a game this is for his team. This is Daniel Rebello. Daniel to take this free kick, floats it in. Header from Kuldeep. This is dangerous from Desmond Gama, just falling in front of Melroy, who collects it. This is Uttam Rai, who will not keep it in against Pedroy. It'll be interesting again to see whether Samir Naik puts on the experienced Pivan De Mello in this game. We know his game has some glorious touches in it, and his experience can always make a big difference. As Pedro Gonzalez not quite getting there into his stride, as this is Suraj now. This is Alba, Ariston, Perez, Ariston again. Desmond Pereira losing out. This is Savlon Fernandez. The tackle coming in. This is Pedro Gonzalez. Another neat turn. Look at this from Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro clearing it finally, but he's been as elegant a player as anyone on the field today. He really has been a class apart with his movement Pedro Gonzalez and his distribution. He had the chance to open the scoring for DEMPO not once but twice, but couldn't take that opportunity. This is Tanston. Kuldeep's clearance. This is set Joachim of Branches in chase, but Rizwan Fernandez should deal with it comfortably with Edwin Vegas. Daryl Mascarenas and Anil Kankar with a sliding challenge in from the left back position. Suraj Hatkonkar, Ariston, Tanston, Uttam Rai playing that quick 1-2, almost releasing Uttam Rai, but ends up fouling Anil Kankar. You see this again, beautiful bit of football from Uttam Rai and Danston Fernandez in the end, just not getting there. As another substitute is being made, and that will be the last contribution from Uttam Rai, who doesn't seem to be a happy man being substituted. And on comes Bevan De Mello, the experienced customer, just as we were mentioning him. Bevan De Mello makes his way onto the pitch, hoping to change things up for DEMPO Sports Club. He will hope to get onto the score sheet just like he did in the last match against Youth Club of Manora. DEMPO need to win this match if they really want to stay afloat in the title challenge. And this is Desmond Pereira. This is Bevan De Mello. There is that close control from Bevan, and Francis Fernandez pushing Bevan from the back. There you see, hands on the back of Bevan, and quite rightly given a free kick DEMPO Sports Club. This is Suraj Hatkonkar. Suraj's free kick. We've said this before, that Vasco should be careful about giving away those free kicks in those positions, and Suraj Hatkonkar yet again making Rizwan Fernandez save down low to his left hand side. Not quite getting enough pace behind that this time. Suraj, this is Tyrell, does brilliantly to go past Anil, puts the cross in. This is P1, this is Ariston. He doesn't know how he hasn't scored, because that is an absolutely phantasmagorically magical save from Rizwan Fernandez. It doesn't matter how you keep them out, as long as you keep them out. We'll see this again. Bevan De Mello, and then from point blank range, Ariston Fernandez with a thunderbolt of a shot on his left foot, and Rizwan Fernandez, take a bow. You have kept out a certain goal for DEMPO Sports Club. Ariston cannot believe he hasn't scored there. This is Anil Kankar, Joachim of Branches, Desmond Gama losing out the ball to Suraj, but it is a throw-in which is going to be taken by Anil. I wonder what he has for lungs, because they could be oxygen cylinders really. for Anil Gaukar, because he's been up and down non-stop on that left wing from a left back position. Here's that man Anil Gaukar, and I keep mentioning this about him. He loses out the ball and you see him instantly running back to cover up his position. As Kuldeep heads this ball to Daniel Ribello. Francis's flick on, finds Matthew Colasso. This is Savlon. Matthew will not keep that in, or will he? He does! And what a chance this time for Desmond Gama! I wonder what both team coaches, the legendary Samir Naik and Mickey Fernandez, both ex-India players, will be thinking right now, because both teams really should have scored by now. Unbelievable how this game is still 0-0. Great work there from Matthew Colasso, proving me wrong about not being able to keep that ball in play, but he puts in a beautiful cut back in for Desmond Gama. And this is Suraj now. Danston Fernandez tries to find Pedro, and Anil Gaukar back there again, covering up that position. Lets the ball go out with 75 minutes played. We are into the last quarter of the game. It is still 0-0, and Samir Naik, not a happy man. He's having a go at Ariston Fernandez, but what could the poor chap do, because he did everything right and it was just an unbelievable save from Rizwan Fernandez, who's been quite outstanding today. Vasco on the other end, within a minute of that chance from Ariston. Matthew Colasso down the right hand side, cuts it back in for Desmond Gama. But what does Desmond do from point blank range? Shoots it just over the bar, skimming the post on the way. It really should have been at least 2 goals apiece in today's encounter. We'll see this chance again as Daryl Mascarenhas' beautiful cross comes in. Desmond flicks it on, and then from point blank range, Ariston doesn't believe that he hasn't scored in that situation. Olsen's long kick flicked on by Desmond. This is Bevan DeMello, puts it out wide for Suraj, and does well to keep it in. This is Suraj. The ball in, another beautiful ball in, and finally the deadlock has been broken by Desmond Pereira. Suraj Hadkonkar's magnificent cross in was palmed out by Rizwan Fernandez. On the rebound, Desmond Pereira with that, we'll see it again. Suraj's ball in, palmed out, but on the rebound, Desmond Pereira was waiting to head that into an open goal. Ariston Fernandez and Samir Naik will be breathing a sigh of relief as DEMPO are on their way to win this game and log full 3 points and keep the pressure on the leaders Selgalco Football Club and Sporting Club de Goa. Whoever Sporting, having played less matches, they will have an opportunity in what becomes an, as this ball comes in, we'll get back to that situation. This is Savlon Fernandez, puts it back for Pedroy as Ariston comes out, and this is still in play, and Francis Fernandez plays it back to Anil Gaukar, and Matthew Colasso is cramping up there. But getting back to Dempo's next fixture, if they can hold on to this lead, Dempo Sports Club, it would be one of the most crucial fixtures in their campaign against Sporting Club de Goa in the next match, who play FC Goa tomorrow. And if Sporting do manage to get a win tomorrow, they are up for a real fight against Dempo Sports Club. This could be a real encounter. But the game is not over yet. 80 minutes played. It is Francis Fernandez getting back possession for Vasco. This is Anil Gaukar's ball in, and Joachim Branches with the header, not quite getting there, and will win the goal kick. Dempo Sports Club. This is Melvin Fernandez. And Samir Naik taking off Danston Fernandez. We haven't seen that very often. Danston Fernandez being taken off by Samir Naik, and Shubham Malvankar coming on in place of Danston.
Just number 15, Danston Fernandez.
Shalom Perez's ball forward. This is Suraj. Pedroy gets in the tackle against Suraj Hatkonkar. This is Albert Gonzalez. Perez's ball forward. Rizwan Fernandez. He's played his part today for Vasco Sports Club, but in the end he was beaten by something he had nothing to do about, as his save came in. It was hit on the rebound and into an open net by Desmond Pereira, as Bevan DeMello flicks it on and into the hands of Rizwan. This is Olsen. Olsen's ball forward. This is Desmond Gama. Anil Gaukar. Anil's ball forward, not the best one. Daryl will get it under control. This is Daryl. This is Desmond. Pedro Gonzalez, absolutely brilliant. Pedro Gonzalez teasing Pedro there. This is Suraj Hatkonkar. He's really affected the game as he's come on. It was his cross which led to that goal, and yet again Samir Naik has a trump card in Suraj Hatkonkar, really. This is Daniel Ribello. Giving the foul away there. Ariston. This is Olsen.
Third and final substitution for Vasco Sports Club. Just number 20.
Suraj Mondal comes in from Matthew Colasso. A substitution, a positive substitution happening for Mickey Fernandez. This is Savlon Fernandez, who does well but loses out, and this is Bevan DeMello, who couldn't take it on his stride, otherwise he was through on goal. but retains the ball beautifully yet again, and this is Pedro Gonzalez up against Olsen, cutting back in. Pedro, Bevan not getting it back. Bevan, this is Savlon, Daniel Ribello being chased down by Bevan DeMello. And this is Desmond Gama, crossfield ball for Desmond, looking for the run of Francis Fernandez. Three experienced men up for Vasco Sports Club, but not the paciest players you would want up front at this point of time for Vasco, as the ball comes in, cleared on by Olsen. This has been put forward, and Suraj Mondal trying to get on the end of it. Not anything doing. This is Bevan DeMello, puts it out for Shubham Malvankar. There's a lot of space for Dempo to work with right now in the midfield area, especially with Suraj, Francis Fernandez and Joaquim Abranches all up front. This is Suraj Mondal chasing the ball down, but Edwin does ever so well yet again. This is the goal scorer, Desmond Pereira. Suraj. Desmond. Shalom Perez. And it goes out for a Dempo throw in once again. Samir Naik will be a happy man that his change has worked for the team. Suraj Hatkonkar once again proving as useful a substitute as anyone in this year's Selvar Goa Professional League. This is Samir, leaves it for Albert Gonzalez. This is Albert taking the throw. Desmond plays it back. Perez, beautiful ball forward for Pedro Gonzalez, but ball cannot be kept in by Pedro, as this goal kick is taken by Rizwan Fernandez. Perez easily chesting it down for Suraj. Vasco slowly but surely being played out of the game by Dempo, but Dempo have to be careful, because the three men up front, Suraj Mondal, Joaquim Abranches and Francis Fernandez, can change a game around with the quality they possess. They've been part of big teams before, and this is Suraj Mondal keeping control, playing it back to Anil. This is Daniel Ribello, back to Suraj Mondal. That's Shubham Malvankar getting ahead of Suraj. This is Desmond Gama. The ball comes in, and almost Kuldeep Kumar getting on the end of it. This is Marai Fernandez. Marai's long ball puts it out. This is Anil Gaukar to Suraj. Anil Gaukar looking for Joaquim Abranches, flicked on, and no real danger for Marai Fernandez. This is Suraj Hatkonkar. Bevan DeMello stays onside, and Bevan does get a foul in the end. Pedroia is the one who commits that foul. Quite clearly a foul on Bevan DeMello. This is Suraj, who's gonna take this free kick once again. The ball comes in from Suraj Hatkonkar. Pedro looking for a penalty. He thinks that he was pulled down by Kuldeep, but referee says nothing doing. And Rizwan Fernandez takes the long goal kick again. Not to the preferred destination. This is Desmond Gama. This long route play not quite working out for Vasco Sports Club at the moment. Dempo winning 1-0. This is Suraj Hatkonkar pacing past Pidroy. This is Pidroy cutting back, and Suraj's shot straight to Rizwan Fernandez, and again taken long by Rizwan. Shalom Perez clearing that ball, and then Kuldeep Kumar dangerously going into Perez and receiving that yellow card. Almost begging the referee not to give a yellow card, but there you see, it's a dangerous one from Kuldeep. Quite rightly, the yellow card shown to Kuldeep Kumar. This is Perez into the last minute of normal time in this match. Anil Gaukar again with the header. This is Pedro against Tunnel, and it comes off on Pedro's hand. He's been quite a champion today, Pedro Gonzalez, bossing this game. Akash Telugu just warning Pedro that this is the last warning, and that he will get a yellow card the next time he impedes the play like that. As Daryl Mascarenas wins the throw-in, and 4 minutes of additional time shown by the referee. The time is ticking down for Vasco Sports Club. This is Daryl Mascarenas' clearance. Olsen will clear it. Denel leaves it for Pidroy, who hooks it forward, hoping someone to get on the end of it. Daryl again clears it. This is Anil Kaukar. Anil switches play. This is Pidroy. Pidroy with not a great ball in. Kuldeep will not get at the end of it. And this is a goal kick for Melroy Fernandez. Not quite happening for Vasco Sports Club at the moment. This will be the third match in a row where they don't quite get a win, and that should be that for them in their faint title hopes. Pedro Gonzalez releasing Suraj Hatkonkar on the left hand side. Suraj trying to get past Pidroy. Pidroy does well this time. Not the greatest of clearances, but he does get the throw in. Olsen will take the throw in for Vasco Sports Club. Throw in taken, but straight to Pedro Gonzalez, who tries to turn away yet again, but Francis strips him off the ball, and this is Suraj Bondol who's coming forward. This is Suraj taking on Edwin Vigas. Suraj gets past Edwin and almost tries to put it in for Joachim of Branches. There you see that quality from Suraj Bondol. There's the experience, shifting his body weight, dropping the shoulders. But the captain Shalom Perez right on hand to intercept that as Daniel Rebello's ball comes in. Melroy will handle it beautifully. Not a great delivery from Daniel Rebello. Melroy shifts it to Suraj. Pedro not quite reaching that ball back. Francis's ball forward, flicked on by Kuldeep. This is Suraj Mondal again. This is some good involvement from him in the end. This is the last throw of the dice for Vasco Sports Club. This is Francis Fernandez. Desmond Gama. Joaquin and Desmond having a miscommunication. This is Anil Kaukar. Desmond and Bevan DeMello will win that ball, and the counter is on for DEMPO Sports Club. This is Pedro Gonzalez, puts it forward for Bevan DeMello, and Olsen covers up, and this is put up by Rizwan Fernandez, and that should take the stuffing out of Vasco Sports Club. And the referee's whistle will come in at any point of time. And this is Bevan DeMello allowing play to continue. A throw-in for Vasco Sports Club. Additional time already over, and there is the final whistle from Akash Telugu, which brings this battle at the Dulles Stadium to an end, as a disappointed Joachim Abranches, looking at his teammates quite haplessly, because Vasco haven't registered a win in their last 3 games. 2 losses and a draw against Salgaonkar and DEMPO. Today the losses coming, and a draw against Panjim Footballers in the last game. Camilo Gonzalez coming forward to congratulate his boys on a good game. They've grinded out a victory today. DEMPO Sports Club. And the score from the Dulles Stadium at full time, it is DEMPO Sports Club 1, Vasco Sports Club 0. One big match over today, but if you think that's about it, you're very well mistaken, because tomorrow's match is between the Gauls FC Goa and the Flaming Orange Sporting Club de Goa, which should be and promises to be an enthralling encounter at the Dulles Stadium. We will be back tomorrow for a 4:15 p.m. kickoff between the two giants of Goan football for the title aspirations to be kept alive by both teams.
স্কোয়ার সার্কেল নিউজে স্বাগত। আপনারা দেখছেন স্কোয়ার সার্কেল নিউজ। আমি মধুবন। শুরু করছি হেডলাইন।
2রা মে সরকার গড়বে বিজেপি, কাঁথির জনসভায় দাবি প্রধানমন্ত্রীর। আমন্ত্রণ পাওয়া সত্ত্বেও প্রধানমন্ত্রীর সভায় গড় হাজির তমলুকের সাংসদ দিব্যেন্দু অধিকারী। বিষ্ণুপুরের সভা থেকে মোদীকে পাল্টা আক্রমণ মমতার। পুরনো